But yeah, so there's a fitness influencer. Her name is Tashabraziliano, and she put out a video of her seeing this guy walk in. She tried to fist bump him, and he just walked past her like he didn't see her. And she said, "I'm gonna miss him, my favorite gym bro."
My favorite gym bro.
My favorite gym bro, because I guess she rejected him, and he was just like, "Damn, the chase is over. I have nothing to say to you. I'm not seeking platonic relationships."
Nah, niggas is petty. Niggas would do that too. I've done that in the past. You know, get rejected.
I had a situation.
Feel some type of way about it, right?
But like, I felt some type of way about it, but it wasn't like I was like this guy. Like if she says what's up to me, I would have said what's good. And
it wasn't that grave. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have said what's up.
A sentence or two. You know, what's good. You getting them reps in? Cool. I'm about to go hit this bench. That's exactly how I would have did the conversation.
It'd be hard for me to talk to him though, and not throw in just what you trying to do after. It'd be hard. Yeah. That's why. That's probably mentality wise why he was just like, I'm gonna just ignore her. I'm gonna just walk past her, because he probably was gonna throw in a little ask out. He's probably gonna ask her out again.
Nah, he
didn't want to get rejected again.
That's just not my thing. I just can't. I'm not gonna let you know I'm salty. But that's not even just with women. That's just with men too. If I got a beef with a dude, I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction of me blocking you. I'm not gonna let you think that you hurt my feelings. It's just not. We're not gonna do that. Like,
yeah, I don't block people on social media.
I don't block people on social media.
I will block people in person.
Like a racist random troll. Of course, I'm gonna block.
Oh, we took a sharp turn there.
I get in arguments.
You block the racists.
I get in arguments with people about stupid shit all the time on social media, and they be like,
you end up blocking them.
Yeah, I block them because I'm not.
Why they spam you or something?
Yeah, they be spamming me with bullshit and like ridiculous racist memes. I'm like, nigga, get out of here. Like, you don't want to have a conversation because when you start coming with logic, then they want to start memeing and trolling. But
I feel like you could bring your mic closer a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it was close enough, but yeah, let's bring it up a little bit. But
sounds a little better now.
Yeah, I don't get back to the topic, man. People on social media were in a tizzy about this. I saw this like 4 or 5 separate times. 4 or 5 separate times. And if you've seen the video, she's like wearing like this big ass black shirt, and she has it clipped in the back so you can see her ass. So people are like, "Oh my God, she's seeking attention." Or
like, what's wrong with that?
They're like, "Oh, if you see a tripod in the gym, you already know." A tripod meaning because she was filming it. So it's you see a
she
tripod.
Was setting people up. They think she was trying to set people up.
They think she was trying to set people up or whatever.
Maybe it was a skit.
A lot of people were saying it was a skit, but like even if it was a skit, people were like, it's still a good conversation because there was a lot of women in the comments who were like, I had to learn this the hard way. I was like, damn. So this is
like
that
how
widespread. Learning her what she's, you reject the guy thinking y'all gonna be friends, and he just ghosts you. He's just like, damn, I can't.
Oh
fuck.
yeah.
We were never friends. I don't even know you.
Like, yeah, what? But it kind of plays into that thing that Steve Harvey said, which I agree with too, where he was saying that straight men and straight women can't be friends. They can't have like relationships as friends, platonic relationships strictly as friends, because the man is always looking for something more.
I think in a lot of cases, yeah, but I think if
in most
y'all
cases,
are mutually not, the only way it works is if y'all are not mutually attracted to each other. And the moment somebody gets attracted, then it starts to fall apart.
But the nigga, see, that's the thing. That's what he was saying. That's why it's really interesting to think about, because he's saying that even if y'all are just friends, you're not attracted. How many times have we heard a nigga or seen a nigga fuck somebody who they quote unquote weren't attracted to? Oh, yeah, she just a fat girl.
People are lying. That's what I'm saying.
Niggas.
That's the thing.
It's men. Men trying to fuck. Period.
That's what I'm saying, because they're denying it because they put in a little bit more effort. They're playing more of a long game.
He's saying that there's no such thing as a man being friends with a woman, because a man secretly in their mind, even if they don't think about it, like it's front and center in their mind, they always trying to fuck. Like if given the opportunity, they would fuck.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely think you can be acquaintances and friends too. I'm not saying you can't be friends with women, but I'm just saying like it definitely gets to a point where the lines start to get blurred. And that's where it doesn't work.
What's that point at?
I just don't think you can be as close with a woman as you are with like your best homie without someone eventually catching feelings.
Yeah,
what I'm trying
most likely, probably.
Like if she coming to your house spending the night and y'all hanging out 24/7, going to the movies, just like you hanging out with one of your dogs, somebody might is gonna catch feelings at some point. I'm not saying because men and women are friends all the time. There are plenty of men and women who are friends. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying as soon it's like
we all have everybody has
like
friends.
One step below friends with benefits, where it's like all it takes somebody to catch feelings, get their feelings hurt,
or a drunk night,
or a drunk night, and then it becomes.
I might throw in a little something. I might have to try to smash. You want to get started? You ready to get started?
But yeah, let's get started. Yeah. All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 69, Top Tier Podcast. My name is Pedro Poppy.
Nick Hogan here.
Chosen. We back, man.
We back. Let's open it up with this Tory Lanez conversation, because Tory Lanez finally got sentenced. It's been like how many months? How long have we been waiting for Tory Lanez to get sentenced?
Since what, December? Has it been December?
It's been I think maybe like February, maybe December. Yeah. I think it was definitely this year. We've been waiting for months, and it's finally come 10-year sentence.
10-year sentence
for a plethora of different charges,
like having a legal firearm or unregistered firearm, and assault,
shooting somebody, assault. Weapon. Damn, bro. If people were really out here talking about, we're gonna get to it. But people were really out here talking about. I guess we could just start there. We might as well just start there. Is there any room for an argument to be made that Tory Lanez was sentenced for too long?
I think
for having
the full charges up in California, I think in general this is too long, but for California, he did it in the wrong state and he fucked up. California does not play about guns.
You think that if he was in a different state, it probably would have been less?
I think it would have been less if he was in a different state.
Even though I thought your point also was that he's a black man, so they're going to give him the book anyway.
Well, let me clarify. People are saying that
let's break it down.
Breaking down because he pleaded not guilty to assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded and unregistered gun in a vehicle,
correct,
and discharging firearm with gross negligence. So I haven't even seen the assault charge. I don't even know if did he plead guilty to the assault charge.
I don't think he pled guilty to anything. But man, they said, to this day, is still saying that he's innocent of every single charge.
They said a jury convicted him in December, and on Tuesday of this week, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Mm-hmm. And each of these charges carry like 5 to 7. Just when I looked it up earlier,
it was like one of them was like 3 to 4. Most of them, they hover around like 5 years. So for him to get 10 years for 3 of these charges, all related to having a firearm, 10 years makes sense. I don't think there's any wiggle room for you to say like, oh, it was too much, it's too long. I mean. And the man pled. There's probably a plea deal on the table, and he decided not to take
there was a plea deal on the table where he could get.
Oh, they said that there was a plea deal?
I think it was between 2 and 4 years. There was a plea deal, and he just refused it. He just said, "Hell no, I'm not." If he had taken a plea deal and was like, "Look, I'm a drunk. I need to go to rehab.
Yeah,
I shot at Meg,
transformed into a better person."
That man would have did 1 in 2 years and got out. That man would have got Kodak.
He's a celebrity. Like, when do we ever see celebrities actually have to fulfill their full time in prison or in jail?
Kodak has done way worse. Now he got lucky with Trump.
That's a great example.
He was going to do that full 4 or 5 years he had left, and Trump got him off. Trump pardoned him.
Shit. All he needed to do was actually feel some type of remorse. First of all, he wasn't even going to get charged with anything until he started talking out of his ass.
Exactly.
When he started hitting up social media and making songs about the fact that, Meg is out here lying about getting shot. Blaming it on the friend. Who's the friend?
He was running
What's the friend's name? Jordan or something?
I forgot her name, but she's pretty sure she's Meg's
she's a celebrity too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he hadn't said anything from the get-go, none of this shit would have happened.
Meg
every
wasn't
step along
say
the way when they give him.
trolling.
Yeah. Every step along the way when they give him the opportunity to say, all right, Tory, you can either shut up or you can account for what you did. He has done the complete opposite and dug 10 toes down and said, nah, I'm innocent. Everyone else is lying on me. It's Rock Nation. It's Meg lying on a black man. There's every excuse in the book for him. To this day, he's still saying, after we already seen heard
the leaked recording.
The leaked recording of him fucking admitting that he was guilty and that he did that shit that night. And he's still putting out merch talking about free Tory Lanez. He's trying to make money out of this.
He's gotta be an idiot if he didn't think that they don't record all those calls. They probably caught some of these stupid ass people yapping on the prison phone, like, yeah, man, I shot that motherfucker. Yeah, they don't know. Then he gets to court and it's like all you hear is like, yeah, I shot that motherfucker. You just sitting there in court like, damn. They got all my records.
It's like those first 48 clips where you see like the people being talked, like the good cop, bad cop, and then they give him some food, and all of a sudden the shit just starts spewing out of him. Oh yeah, I saw he did it. That's how Tory was. Dumb nigga. He takes it so unserious. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, and like he released a whole album called Daystar where he was just basically roasting the shit out of Meg.
It was all about Meg.
Talking about how he loved her and she betrayed him, and he was like, "How you get shot in the foot and they don't hit no bones or tendons." That's like one of the lines. Like,
no, but I was one of them dumb niggas that was believing it in the beginning. I was saying like, oh, you know what? That makes sense. That she didn't have to go to the hospital. That makes sense. That's so dumb though. That's so dumb, and that's part of the reason why he ended up getting the full sentence, that they didn't take it easy on him, was because he was talking all that shit. At least that's what that journalist Megan Cuniff, I think is her name. I would shout her out because she did a lot of good work. She was saying that when they were giving the sentence, that the judge said that the fact that he was out there spreading misinformation, still talking about it when he was supposed to keep his mouth shut the entire time, basically, he saw that there was no remorse there. So yeah, I'm gonna give you the full sentence. That's apparently one of the reasons why he has 10 years instead of like 7 or whatever. Because them years gonna add up.
No, they smacked him on his ass. They gave him some extra years for being an asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he was doing the fucking most.
How long? How old is he? When is he gonna?
I think he's like 33.
So he's getting out at like 43.
He's 31. Yeah,
he's 31. So he's gonna get out like 40.
41.
Dumb nigga.
Some people are saying he probably only do like 5 years. He'll probably get out in 5.
Yeah, possibly. And like we were saying that off mic, he's already done some of the time. I think he's already spent over a year in jail.
Yeah, he's getting deported though. They gonna ship his ass.
They kicking him out the country too?
They gonna ship his ass straight back to Canada. I'm pretty sure if you're an immigrant or foreigner and you commit a crime, they deport your ass as soon as you get out of jail.
You know what that reminds me of? Because I read that Iggy Azalea story about how she sent a letter of support to the judge not for Tory to get off because he was obviously already convicted, or maybe it was. I don't know how early it was, how late it was, where this lined up, but she wrote a letter of support saying that she's not trying to support an abuser, but she would hope that the judge has like enough goodness in his heart to give Tory a lesser sentence.
Right.
And people were really upset at the fact that Iggy Azalea, mainly because everyone hates Iggy Azalea for her music, but that's neither here nor there. People were upset at the fact that Iggy Azalea as a woman would go and support Tory Lanez, who abused a woman, assaulted a woman. And what did you think about that?
I remember because I'm on a tip where like, bro, you got to go do them years. You can't just run around shooting people and acting wild and not do time. Acting negligent with a firearm. But I'm also like, the man has a son who's a child. He gets out, his son's gonna be a teenager. How would you feel? You know, I mean, you gotta do the time, right? 5 years is still a lot too, but 10 years, like people just hear 10 years, like, go do the 10 years, nigga. Can you imagine where you gonna be in 10 years? 10 years is a long time.
I don't think a lot of people, if someone is out there talking about, oh, it's just 10 years, nigga, that's stupid. 10 years, like you said, 10 years is 10 years. That's a decade, fam. That's a decade of your life in jail. You didn't have any thoughts about Iggy Azalea writing the letter?
Well, I mean, my thing is, I'm not condemning her and shaming her. That's her opinion, right? I agree with her. Like, in a certain sense, I think that man, like, I don't know if he has any priors, but like, I think that man should get 5. I think that man should get 5 years at most. 5 years is enough. Like, 5 years is a long time. 5 years is enough to get smacked on the ass, but still have a life with your children, you know, to a certain extent.
Yeah, he does have a family. You know, and there's no history of him abusing people as far as I know. But that's kind of an interesting conversation to have because some people would say on the opposite side of that there's no room for excuses. There's no room for taking it easy or, you know, handing somebody a certain level of privilege based off of even if they were an upstanding citizen or whatever. Abuse is abuse. Assault is assault. We need to make sure that there's a precedent set that there's no room for this. So we're going to make sure that we max out your sentence. Or at least close to it. But then on the opposite side, what were you going to say?
I was just saying, I agree, to deter people. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Make sure they're not doing it, of course.
Yeah, but then on the opposite side, kind of the argument that you're saying, it's like, if you have no priors, if this isn't in your history, and you have a bunch of people, I'm sure there's other celebrities too, not just Iggy, if there's other people that you are acquaintances with, people in the industry that say that there's no history of you doing anything like this, maybe you should kind of get like a little tiny slap on the wrist instead of having the full book thrown at you.
Right.
I kind of see it from both perspectives, but I kind of lean towards like, nah, Because I know if this happened to somebody that I knew, if this happened to a woman in my life, I want them to get the full time.
Yeah, if they happened to somebody I cared about, we had to handle this dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. We had to handle this. I might say take him out or anything. I'm just saying.
Have to go.
I'm just saying, you got to go to prison, and if you don't go to prison, we're gonna have to figure something out.
Yeah, you got to go, man.
Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about? You want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on to this bullshit list that Complex put out.
This bullshit list. We already started.
When I think about Complex, I just cannot. I only think about Akademiks and Joe Budden when they used to be on there.
They were talking to Migos.
Talking to Migos and getting in arguments and shit. And
speaking of, this is just a little side piece. Did you see what DJ Akademiks said to Iggy Azalea? Not Iggy Azalea. She's just on my mind. To Erykah Badu. Didn't she call him a mouse or something like that? She said he looked was a long. Yeah,
he looked like Tom and Jerry.
She said that he looked like Jerry the mouse. No, but I don't know what happened. You know, he streams or whatever. I don't know how it came up. Maybe because when she put out her incense, she put Jerry as like the cover of the incense. You know how she has like her Badu pussy candle. She put Jerry, and maybe he thought that was like calling him out or something. No, but he called her a fucking like hoe or something. Like he said that she was like a used up hoe. Like every rapper has a baby with you or some shit like that. Damn. How the fuck are you like? How do you look like you do? I'm talking about DJ Akademiks. How do you look like you do? You talking about the Queen Badu?
Because he clearly think he's probably getting a lot of ass because he has clout and money.
Porn star ass.
Clearly, or he's paying for it.
Actually, he's getting porn star ass.
He thinks he the shit.
He's getting ran through by porn stars, so nigga, shut the fuck up. I don't know. I thought that was funny. I don't know why.
Akademiks is a clown, bro. He literally is like a troll, an internet troll, who somehow is famous. I don't know what he contributes to the culture. He used to actively instigate Chirac beefs and get people killed and just be like, "Hey, I'm Caribbean. You know how them niggas do. It has nothing to do with me."
That's what he said.
That's how he acts. He be talking.
I see what
he talks crazy about Black Americans because he's Jamaican. He thinks it's some kind of separation. He's like a culture vote. He's like he can blend in more, but he's like he's no different than Vlad, no different than Adam 22. He's a culture vulture who has no real connection to culture. Talks shit, goes on Fresh and Fit and be laughing with them niggas about all kinds of anti-FBA.
Well, he knows his shit though. I don't want to say he has no connection to the culture. I don't watch his shit. I'm not into that. Into the whole gang violence shit when it comes to like the rappers and stuff. But for the people that are, I know just from listening to other people talk about, he knows his shit. He does the research. He's like low key a journalist.
I'm sure Vlad and them dudes know that shit too, and don't give a fuck about black people. Secretly don't like them.
I was only talking about that one
exploiting the culture. But yeah,
I was only talking about that one point that he's not connected. To the culture.
He's crazy. I mean, I hope she got in his ass. I think
she responded. She didn't say anything. She was just like, you know, I heard somebody was hurt by the things that I said. And, you know, it goes to show you that you could say something years ago and people would really hold it as like a core memory in them. And it's like it creates like a level of like core trauma in their development.
He was hurt by that.
Said. You know how Badu is, man. Yeah. Badu is so above the noise, man. She's a queen amongst
She about to ascend to 4D. Like, you know, she about to go enlighten.
Fourth dimension and fifth dimension, third eye fully open.
Full eye, third eye, light body, vibrations, all that shit.
I love Erykah Badu, man. One last thing. Actually, no. Let's go back to Complex. Because we got off track. Let's go back to Complex. So you had a bone to pick with this Complex list, as did a lot of people. This is a Complex list. We're talking about the Complex list of the top 50 New York rappers. What was it that angered you so much about this list?
That Ice Spice is number 50. Where's Joey Badass? Where's Michi Darko? Where's the Underachievers? Like,
there was a lot of people that could have been on this list.
More ASAP Mob people than just Rocky.
People, yeah.
Dude,
Rocky was on the list.
That's why I said then just Rocky.
Oh, okay,
then just
maybe
Rocky.
Ferg. I mean, who else are you gonna fucking put on there?
Ferg. I put Ferg on there.
I gotta put Ice Spice on there instead of Ferg. You can put Ice.
Okay, and let's break down for
She's
people
popping right now,
and for people who may have skimmed the list. The way the criteria that they picked out was that it was skill, lyrical ability, and influence on the culture. But this list was a popular. This list was like, all right, we got to throw the OGs on there. So of course we got like MF Dooms and like the DMCs,
Run DMC,
and like I'm talking like all the OGs. Was Rakim on? Is Rakim? I don't know if Rakim's East.
I don't remember seeing Rakim on the list. But I don't know if he was.
But yeah, pretty much, Jay-Z, pretty much Biggie, everybody who was like around for like the rap renaissance from the 80s through 90s,
yeah,
they were on there, right?
For good reason. For good reason.
Because they hit all three. But
I think it was a pretty complete list, yeah.
Yeah, it was a complete list, but like there was some like weird ones on there. Like they put Nicki as number 7. You gonna put Nicki as number 7 over MF Doom at 14?
Yes.
Dude.
Give me an argument.
Skill, lyrical ability, influence. He's maxed out. If we're going from S rank all the way down to F, he's S on every rank. I don't know, man. I think Nicki is A rank. I think Nicki is A rank in all of them. But she's not S.
Excuse you.
S is you are foundation.
Are you serious?
S is your foundation. You are OG.
She is a foundation. You know how many fucking so like beforehand, when I look at when you're talking about women in rap, you can only name 2 people, maybe 3, but one is a group. You can name MC Lyte. Well, you can name a few. You can name MC Lyte. You can name Lil' Kim. A lot of people don't know about Foxy Brown unless you're actually like a real rap fan. So I'm not going to include her. And you know about Salt and Pepper. Most people don't know Queen Latifah rap, so I'm not going to include her either. That's pretty much the only people you can name. When Nicki came around, all of a sudden, you've never seen this many mainstream female rappers until after Nicki came around. Nicki opened up space for Cardi B. Nicki opened up space for Meg Thee Stallion. And they're all doing exactly what she was doing. Granted, Nicki Minaj took a lot of the same stuff that Lil' Kim was doing, but all I'm saying is that impact, the level of impact, the amount of space, the doors that she opened for women in rap, that's the reason why, honestly, she could probably even be higher on the list. LL Cool J was like top 5.
You're right.
I put Nicki over LL.
I gotta admit it. All right, skill, lyrical ability, I give her A. Influence, she's clearly an S. You argued it well. You argued it perfectly. She's such a pioneer. You can't even deny it. There would not be, and she defended her crown kind of viciously after that. But like, because she was like the only one when she was around. Like he was really doing it like her. So of course she wasn't gonna give it up to some new people trying to bite off her a little bit. But.
And to the point about like the list being based off of skill and technique and all of that. If that was really the case, Yasin Bey would have been higher on the list. If that were the case, A$AP Rocky would have been a little bit higher on the list. He was like in the 40s. If that were the case, I can go on and on. There was a lot of the rappers that they put like lower on the list were, I think, a little bit more technically improved, and I don't remember that many, but a little bit more technically prowessed than a lot of the people that were on the top. So what I'm saying is that these lists, when we see these lists, even if you can go as far as to say like the award shows and stuff like Grammy nominations and stuff like that, that's not based off technical ability or performance. I think it's like 60% influence and impact, popularity, if you want to bundle that in there, and 40% goes to like, and maybe even less, 40%, 30% goes towards the technical ability and like the actual ability of rap.
I think it's 20%.
Yeah, it could probably even be lower than that.
I'm telling you, people win and they cannot rap for their ass. But I guess they were S in terms of how popular they are for that year.
I think that when people make these lists, they have to say that because they know in the rap community, all these fucking backpackers and whatever, all these people, these purists, we call them rap purists the last time. People didn't like that word either. They include that they're saying that it's all technical ability, based off technical ability, because they know people are going to get in their ass if they don't say that. Because rap, for some reason, is held to this standard where it's like, I feel like it's the only genre of music too that does that. If you're not like actually talented, if you're not actually gifted, then you don't belong in the conversation or whatever. You never hear that about like pop music. Musicians these days, quote unquote musicians, can't even play a goddamn instrument.
But the thing about the difference between rap is people used to compete. It'd be different if it was like people were having pop-offs, or it's like I'm gonna hit these 3 chords in a certain rhythm, and then we're gonna have you do it, and then we're gonna decide a winner. Nobody does that, but rap has a whole battle rap history that was a part of the foundation and building of it, where it's like we basically roasting each other in rhyme, and then people are like, oh shit, you can put a beat over this. So the history comes from battle, from lyrical battle. Even though it has nothing to, even though you can make the same argument that I'd say post 2010 lyrical ability doesn't even matter. Even though I still get on it.
Not really, yeah.
Post 2010, it's no different than pop.
Actually, I don't know if that's true. I think that it's easy. I don't think it matters in terms of making a hit, but it matters because people still have the conversation. For example, we just saw the Travis Scott album came out. What was like the main thing that they were saying that it sounded too much like Kanye, but what was also like one of the main reasons why people said they didn't really like the album?
Because he wasn't saying nothing.
It wasn't saying
he was
nothing.
talking bullshit,
it was the
but
lyrical
like
ability.
Have y'all listened to, have we not been listening to Kanye since high school? And what has he been saying?
Kanye be saying some shit though.
Kanye
be saying some shit.
One of my favorite Kanye songs is Blood on the Leaves. That was like one of his most woke, not Blood on the Leaves, New Slaves, I'm sorry. New Slaves is like one of his most woke songs. Too. That's a dope song, but like New Slaves is like just straight up a woke song. Mm-hmm. Straight one of his wokest songs. Straight up. Travis does not have a song like that.
I think that the boundaries are just a little bit like there's no gatekeepers anymore that are saying like if you can't actually rap, then we're not going to make sure that we market your music to a mainstream audience. I think that's really what it comes down to. I think that it's just so accessible. Pretty much anybody can go on fucking, what is it called? Fruity Loops? I don't make music.
Fruity Loops.
Something like that. Yeah. Or whatever these other little DAOs are. And just create some shit that pops on TikTok. And we'll sign you because, well, you have the fucking audience of millions of people. So it's not necessarily having to do with, that's why they get rid of A&Rs and stuff like the actual like development of artists and recruiting of artists and stuff from underground scenes, because anybody can be a poppin' artist nowadays. It doesn't really matter if you have the skill or the talent.
Social media democratizes it. Are you an influencer? You really don't even really matter who you are. If you can kind of rap.
The word that you just used, exactly. How much influence do you have?
Exactly. If you can kind of rap. Because, man, a lot of influencers make music. Even like Kai Cenat and what's his name? The crazy ass, his crazy ass Robin. Yeah, Speed.
He was performing at fucking Rolling Loud.
Yeah, these dudes have
they
have
not
music.
An artist.
They rap. Like, nigga, you're not an artist. It's just
not at all.
You have clout. So now you can dip in it. That's why I said Ice Spice is gonna be good regardless. As long as she's remains an influencer, she doesn't have to rap. She can model and do commercials probably the rest of her career and be a millionaire and be fine.
Yeah, she'll be good.
Easily.
She'll be good.
Even Coi Leray can do the same thing.
Her on the list. I was thinking of Coi Leray. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want people to be like, "Oh my God, he doesn't know music." I thought it would take my it would take my credentials away a little bit. But Coi Leray also could have ended up on that list. You never know. Like, if it's based off just pure influence, she don't be making no music like rap music. But I wouldn't have been surprised if she ended up on that list.
I don't know about. I'm still questioning Ice Spice because like Nicki is indisputable. She is a figure. Right, especially for female rappers. She's like, I'm trying to think of an example. She's really like, what's like a modern, she really is like the Wayne of female rappers in terms of like, because like after Wayne, you know how many people came after Wayne? Like Wayne is a figure. I think she has the same impact in rap in general, but mainly for female rappers, but a very large impact in rap in general. But like Ice Spice has been around a year and been making has one album, a couple singles.
I don't even think it's an album.
That's what I'm saying. Album? It's not even an album. It's like a little EP. Like, what has she done that earns 50? You know how many people could have got 50?
It's just because it's Ice Spice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you replace Ice Spice with anybody else on that that was left off, the Joey Badasses and whatever, I don't think anyone's going to be upset by that. I don't think they're going to.
The skill is an F.
Ice Spice belongs on there.
The lyrical ability is like a C.
The skill is an F.
The influence on the whole culture, like, she hasn't even had time. We're going to just. You're not even gonna get a grade for that because it's only.
We're gonna move on in a
second,
but I have a question. I have a question for you. What did you think about Pop Smoke being on the list? Low key, kind of high too. He's like in the middle of the list. He was like in the 20s, I think.
I'm not feeling it. I think if we made a top 100, he'd probably be in the 90s. I'll give him that, maybe. But like, man, if we open. Also, another thing, I got a question for you. If we open it up to top 100, who would be in the back 50? Who would be in the back 50?
Can't ask me. You're just talking about strictly New York. I can't name more than 50 New York rappers. You're asking the wrong guy.
Ice Spice to be off the list. I have to put in a bunch of some ASAP Mob people. Flatbush Zombies better be on there, or I'm going up to Complex and figuring out who wrote that bullshit.
You're gonna hit the Ice Cube on them.
Literally, because it's like, I know Flatbush Zombies are probably not the most famous, but like them dudes is connected, right?
It's a group.
But I'm talking about, we can split it up and just talk about Michi Darko. He better be on the list. I don't care what anybody says. My last thing is, Jay-Z's number one. Before we move on, that's bullshit to me.
Yeah, let's talk about number one.
I think Jay-Z's number 3.
That's personal opinion.
I
think the reason why they put Jay-Z on there is because he is considered the GOAT. So it's not Nas who's considered the GOAT. Biggie is considered up in GOAT tier. It might be someone's favorite rapper, but in terms of like who actually is like the Michael Jordan of rap, the obvious answer is Jay-Z, and he's still doing it. So you have to put Jay-Z number one.
I just think Nas gets in his ass. I just think the problem is it's probably like, because I actually used to love Jay-Z. Now I don't, but like I used to. I give everyone in the top 3 has S's in every category, but I will say Jay-Z probably has an S plus in influence because he is Jay-Z.
He's Jay-Z.
So he edges them out by a little bit. Maybe Biggie and Nas tie. It's probably Biggie still over Nas because Biggie has way more influence than Nas.
Yeah, in terms of my personal, if I were personally doing the list in terms of my favorites, I would have put Biggie number 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just think he's better. I like his music more. But yeah, you got to put Jay-Z number 1. You want to move on? Let's keep it going.
Let's move on, yeah.
What do we want to get to? You want to talk about this Marvel?
Yeah, I'll let you intro it.
Marvel, group of FX artists at Marvel have come together and they say that they were inspired by what's been going on with the SAG unions, with their protests. And they've put together they're trying to get unionization for Marvel FX workers, not the actors, just the FX workers, the animators. So it's like a collection of, I think, 50 people so far. And that was like from last week reports. So it's probably even more now. But they're coming together and they're trying to unionize because they're saying that they're being overworked. And when you think about it, it's like they were saying it. They said one thing that I heard, and I was like, God damn! Like when you put that in perspective, that's fucking crazy how much they work. They were saying that it takes them an entire, however long, let's say a year, just for the sake of the argument, it takes them like a year to animate all the effects. Everything is CGI in these fucking Marvel movies, so it takes them like a year to put together a fucking 90-minute film and have that ready to go. Now they're doing all these shows, tons of these shows. Some of them you can't even name because there's so many. And they have to do the same amount of work in the same amount of time. Actually, no, it's not the same amount of work. They have to do more work in the same amount of time to make 9 hours of content. This is like 9-episode shows, 8-episode shows. So you go from making an hour, 30-minute movie to making 9 hours of a movie, basically. In the same amount of time, you end up spending like 18 hours a day, no weekends off. Somebody said that they were told like once that, you're not going to take a single day off for like the next 3 months. And you're already working 18-hour days. Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
And then they tell you, you know what, guys, we're doing reshoots. Get ready to start over. Mm-hmm. And now you have to rush it because we still have to get it out in the same time. I've heard.
And now we got to get season 2 going. Hey, let's get ahead of it. Let's get ahead of the clock. We're gonna get season 2 going right now,
dude. It's absolutely criminal because it's not even just the writers; it's the animators. It
is criminal
that they're making so much money, basically, damn near enslaving people, and they're making so much goddamn money.
Yeah,
like we were just talking about before we got on. There's a show, Suits. It's a very famous show about a guy. I watched a few episodes. He has a photographic memory, and a lawyer recruited him to. And he forged his degree, like he did in everything, and told everybody he went to Harvard, even though he didn't, because he's so smart. And that show went on for 9 seasons. I think it had billions and billions of hours of watch time since it's been put on Netflix. And the writers have only received $3,000 worth of royalties through all that watch time.
Yeah, robbery.
So, remember, and these are the people carrying this fucking show. There is no Suits. I don't care how good the actors are. I don't care how good the directors are, set designers, everything. How much money you throw at it. Without the writers, this shit, there is no show.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So going back to animators, so now the animators, and when you look at animation and special effects and CGI, those kind of fantasy and sci-fi, they're just as important as the writers. Yeah. You can have an amazing story. Let's say you're paying your writers well, and you treating the animators like shit. They quit. It's over.
Yeah. We're talking about all these fucking superhero movies. All these Marvel movies. This is all CGI, bro. It's all CGI. They literally put the faces of the actors on like some CGI character most of the time.
Just like Spider-Verse just got delayed for the same reason. I know this isn't Marvel Studios, this is Sony, but it's happening across the industry where
one?
Well, Spider-Verse 2 is supposed to come out in the upcoming March. Now it's been delayed indefinitely, and the people are talking about, we recorded our voice lines for Spider-Verse in like 2020. We haven't even recorded our voice lines for Beyond the Spider-Verse.
The animated Spider-Man movie, that already came out.
No, but the sequels it's a part one. It's a 2-part event. It ended on a really, really, really big cliffhanger that a lot of people were mad about. But it even said on the poster in like really tiny text. They didn't want people to know. Like they couldn't lie about it, so they put it really tiny on there saying part 1. If you go back and look at the movie posters.
Oh, okay.
And apparently they're supposed to come out in March. So that's not that big of a gap. But now they're saying it's delayed indefinitely because almost all the animators quit because they're being overworked and underpaid.
Yeah, man. But that's what these fucking SAG workers are working for, or protesting for, is because at a certain point, you keep letting these companies, these production companies, get away with what they're getting away with, and they just gonna put everything on streaming anyway. But that's not really what I'm getting at. You're gonna get to a point where the writers, the animators, the actors, even, they're gonna lose so much leverage because shit, we have a whole entire stockpile of you guys' recorded lines. I'm gonna just come up with some AI tech to where it could perform your lines for you. Shit, I've recorded hours and hours of you acting on camera. Mm-hmm. Shit, I could just go create some fucking technology, some AI tech that can basically just animate your fucking body. And it'll look pretty damn similar. I don't even need the physical person. So that's what they're really fighting for at the end of the day. A large part of this is just the AI thing. Like, they also have to get rid of the fact, because moving on to like the SAG thing, a lot of them were saying that they were even recorded and put into some of these AI programming programs without even their knowledge of it. Yeah. That they've literally been cloned, like scanned, and they have their gestures and everything in some type of archive, and they didn't even know. So
they don't have to pay extras anymore. They can just have
they don't have to pay you, period.
Exactly. The green
it's
screen
like that fucking
room.
Black Mirror. That Black Mirror episode was right on time. Mm-hmm. That Netflix one, it's literally what they're doing.
Bro, see, and that season was trash. That's definitely one of the best episodes. I actually liked that episode when I
conceptually
and finished
conceptually.
Well, yeah, where they took her likeness and just used a quantum computer to just predict, or they followed her. They were recording her. So it was like a day lag, but they would put out an episode every day. So when she would go to bed and wake up in the morning, they had a whole eepisode out for what she did the day prior of her whole life.
Apparently they have that technology, is what they're saying. That's what they out here saying.
But I listen, and we can look at the anime industry, like for our anime fans, like they do them dirty too. I think arguably worse than they do us in America. Where
I hear a lot of bad things. Yeah.
Think about like Attack on fucking Titan. Have you seen Attack? Nick has seen most of it. The animation, dude, they get paid like $4 a day. Like, how do you live off $4 a day? And they're like, "This is what we expect." Like, what
That's
the
lower
fuck?
than fucking minimum wage out here.
Lower than minimum wage out here. Like $4, or I think it's $4. I don't think it's $4. I think it's $4 an hour. Let me correct myself.
Still, same thing. That's lower than minimum wage.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking of something else, but yeah, $4.
That's what I figured that you were talking about minimum wage though.
Yeah. They get paid like $4 an hour. Like, how do you feed yourself in Tokyo, a very expensive, one of the most expensive cities in the world to live in?
Damn.
How do you pay? How? You live in a shack. Bro. I'm telling you, bro. I watched the whole video about how a lady, she literally lived in an internet cafe where it was something like it was like $10 a day, and you get to, or like $20 a day, you get to rent the whole booth. So most of her expenses were buying like cheap ramen noodles and living in like this little booth. So you can lock the door.
Yeah, you gotta live like basically
sleep
like
on
you're
the
homeless.
floor. It's like you sleep in a cubicle basically, and then there's like a shower and place you can go wash up because they know people are doing that. But it's like it's awful.
It's terrible, man. Yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's talk about Travis Scott. Travis Scott is out here performing in Rome. Which one you want to handle? Because I really want to talk about the fact that he brought on Kanye West onto stage.
Let's talk about Kanye.
I really want to get in Travis's ass right now about the fact that he brought Kanye West on stage. I already heard the album. In the album, he said that he had Kanye over Biden. And, when we were listening to that, we listened to it together. We both heard that and was like, huh, interesting. Like, he's out here still supporting
He was using a lot of Kanye beats. Like, they said Kanye has a lot of leaked music. He took a lot of those beats from the leaked music.
And he was working on the album. Yeah, he has some credits on that album. But then I see him bring Kanye out at the concert. And if I'm being completely honest, I've lost respect for Travis Scott. I've been a supporter of Travis's antics in the past when he gets in trouble. I don't know if I can any longer do that. You're going to bring out some Nazi sympathizer, some neo-Nazi onto stage and talk about and praise this man.
He loves Hitler.
Yeah, and bring this man out for the public to see on your platform.
And he's a coon too. Let's not forget Kanye. His MAGA Chronicles.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it either. I just think Travis was thinking that's literally a family member.
Fuck it. Who cares?
Literally an in-law.
Who cares? The man is supporting neo-Nazi agenda and going and talking to neo-Nazis and going and talking to known racists, known bigots. He was like on an entire campaign.
Like he was on an
and
entire
talking about how I love Hitler. Literally out of his mouth. I love Hitler. You're going to bring this man up on stage.
Do you think the dude is just extremely mentally... Well, we know that, but I'm like, do you think it was just an episode?
I don't care about it if it was an episode or not. He said the shit. He said the shit and he stood on it. And so if I'm Travis Scott, even if I have a big debt to pay in terms of the fact that Kanye West was the one that put me on, I don't care. Elliot, if you were to say some shit like that, you're off the pod, bro.
Yeah.
You're off the pod. I'm not doing the pod with you anymore. Why would I do that? I don't support that fucking rhetoric. I feel like everybody should be held to that standard. I'm really shocked at the fact that no one said anything about this. Everybody, and we know like most people that listen to Travis, I guess, they don't give a fuck about any of that type of shit. If you want to call it woke, they probably don't care. Because none of this stuck. They didn't even make a big deal out of it. They were just like, oh shit, he brought out Kanye on stage. Everybody applaud. I was just kind of taken aback at that. I felt like I needed to say a little bit of some about that.
Yeah,
I was disgusted.
I agree. Travis obviously did not give a fuck about his brand. He's probably thinking, man, I'm still getting shows and 10 people died at one of my concerts. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
And people were getting harmed at this recent concert.
People were getting harmed at this recent concert. It said
what was it they said someone was going
Someone
around
was spraying
like
mace. Somebody was spraying mace.
Oh, okay.
Probably just some idiot. I don't know what it is with Travis Scott concerts, but he attracts like deplorables.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying.
He attracts just like the dumbest, most degenerate clowns you can imagine who go to his concerts.
So. I think a little bit. I don't know if I can any longer support Travis Scott.
They say a kid had to be hospitalized because he was trying to climb a gate.
There was like 50 or 60 people, right? It was a lot of people.
No, I think 50 or 60 were injured. I don't know if they had to be hospitalized because they probably just got sprayed in the eyes and they were probably rolling on the ground screaming. I'm not lying, but like a kid actually had to be hospitalized because I think he tried to climb a gate or a wall trying to see the show for free and he fell off and hurt himself very badly. But why are you taking a kid to a Travis Scott concert anyway?
Well, it's just a concert. I don't care about that.
Most of the concerts I go to, I feel like, are pretty adult. I wouldn't be comfortable with anybody over 18 going to a lot of these
Under
concerts.
18?
Sorry, under 18, going to a lot of these concerts.
Yeah. I would
a lot of alcohol, a lot of drug taking. I've never been to a concert where I did not smell weed. I can't remember a concert where I did not smell marijuana.
It's a good place for it.
Exactly, but I would not be comfortable having, like, I went to a Thundercat concert and they was just passing the J's around. I was like, well, damn. Indoors too. Didn't give a fuck about anybody telling them to put it out. We went to another concert. Some dude hunted him down though. He was smoking. They hunted his ass down and got him out of there. I was like, well, damn, they was on it that night. But
can't have that. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Top Tier Podcast. This has been a treat. You can catch us same place, same time next week for a new episode. We will catch you then. Stay safe. Peace.